Hey, welcome back with another video. Now we're gonna react to CNN. Phillip presses Republican Scott Jennings on Trump tariff strategy. Okay, let's just hop straight into it. So we're gonna keep talking about them tariffs. Shit, I had to yawn because of that. But how about them tariffs? That's what we're gonna call this. How about them tariffs, man? For all the Hispanics and blacks that voted on Donald Trump because of economy, how's it doing? How's it doing? I'm curious how you doing. You making more money? You making more money? Because I just lost a whole lot in the stock market. A whole lot. I ain't vote on that dude and still had to lose money. This is all y'all fault. Specifically y'all. I blame y'all. We knew white people were going to go vote on him, but y'all? Shame. But most black people voted on Kamala. So we did our part. Hispanics. What happened? Whites. Liberals. Liberal whites. What happened? Let's go. I'm going to stop playing with y'all free. You see, you're racist. I'm not.
I actually don't think he's looking for the long term. I think tariffs need to be used in a really, really surgical way to create space for industry to happen in the U.S., but that requires an industrial strategy. We haven't seen any coherent industrial strategy from this administration yet. Now, you know, like him or not, Biden had an industrial strategy. It's not just about tariffs. You've got to convince business, okay, what's the competitive strategy here? How are we going to train workers? How are we going to work with allies? You have to build capacity. Is Europe going to want to be in supply chain alliances with us? Maybe not, because, you know, we're talking about slapping tariffs on Europe too. I just don't buy it over the long haul. I'm for reindustrialization, but boy, it's a tough thing to do. You have to do it carefully.
I think Biden's industrialization strategy was to industrialize more government. I mean, a lot of jobs created government.
America brought back a chips industry in 18 months.
What was the announcement this week?
But here's the thing, though. Don't we want friends? I understand we want to put America first, but don't at the same time we still want allies and friends and partners? Like, I mean, like, this whole MAGA Republican thing is just really different now. Like, Trump has changed the entire trajectory of the Republican Party, and I don't even know how they can bounce back from it when the guy is gone. Like, he's changed the entire trajectory. Like, like, I understand we do got to take care of us, but come on, like, come on.
That a chips maker from Taiwan is opening up a massive operation in Arizona. What was the auto industry announcement this week that Honda is putting a plant in Indiana? $1.7 trillion already in announcements from this administration on investing in the U.S. economy. I agree with you, what you said earlier. Reindustrializing, juicing American manufacturing, it is a worthy goal. And that is the mission of the tariff plan. He strongly believes in tariffs. And if they're slapped on over a long period of time, we'll see if he's right. But the governor,
is exactly
right. You guys are defending a tariff strategy that's actually not being put in place.
It's not a strategy.
The tariff strategy that you're describing is Trump saying, I believe in tariffs, carte blanche, let's just put them on there. But what he's actually doing is saying tariffs one day, no tariffs the next day. Tariffs one day, no tariffs the next day.
He's trying to...
He's a thoughtless president. There's nothing, there's no goal, there's no aim, there's no, that's true. That's why the market is tanking the way it is. People are confused. You don't want a confused leader in office. I hope we learn from this presidency. You don't want a confused leader in office. You don't.
He really believed in what you were saying. He would just stick with his strategy, and he's not doing it.
He's trying to find the sweet spot with countries and industries. And he said today there'll be no more extensions past April.
I just have to say,
I'm not even seeing that happening. I mean, he didn't say, okay, we're going to take tariffs off China and Mexico for these specific things. He said, we're going to just do another month.
Yeah, it's a haphazard approach. I want to say that I think there's a lot of things at the table that people...
Well, that's wrong. He did limit the tariffs that he was going to put on Canada. I know specifically Canada, like on aluminum. I know dairy. One of the reasons he keeps bringing up the dairy tax on us that was 245%. Well, it can get up to 245%. Let me explain it to y'all. The dairy tax from Canada is because the Canadian economy is not that strong. So anything in their economy, they're trying to protect their economy. They tariffed our stuff coming in to keep their agricultures good in their economy, right? That should be the same reason why we're tariffing. No, we're tariffing for punishments. The question for me with all this tariff conversation is, what are we building here that we can slap tariffs on and start building ourselves? We have massive amounts of lumber mills. Do we have massive amounts of oil wells? Do we have all this stuff to where we can like produce for ourselves so that we can cut off the rest of the world? A lot of this stuff, because my understanding of the lumber is that the lumber in America is not as good as the lumber in Canada, and we can run out as quickly as possible. We're going to run out as soon as we start cutting down trees and everything, we'll run out quickly. I don't even think it'll take a generation to run out. I don't even think it will, according to what I'm understanding. And the trees, they have such a vast expansion of trees up in Canada, and their bark is good because it's good to build houses with. And that's why we use it. But that tariff is specifically to protect their farmers, so their farmers don't have an extensive amount of competition come from the US. That's all. Really the problem is how the provinces in Canada do their due diligence when it comes to goods and shipping and services, and how we do ours. And that's where another conflict is coming from. However, though, this is nothing that nobody can just sit down at the table and just figure out. Same thing with Mexico. I think tariffs there's something bigger behind the tariffs, because he keeps saying that it should be the 51st state. It's interesting he's saying Canada, but he's not bringing up Mexico at all. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Agree with. I don't want fentanyl in this country. I want it to be stopped. I don't take it lightly if one person dies from it or another person dies from it if it comes out from the country. But I also think that when you are applying and you're looking at the totality of circumstances, you can't just swing a pendulum back and forth with the American economy. I understand you all are saying it's a strategy, but what it feels like, and we talked a lot about feelings before November 5th, that the people felt like the economy wasn't good, even though the numbers said it was good. What we're saying is that people are feeling like the economy still isn't good, and the numbers are not good, because the Dow is going down. Because you slap a tariff on in 1 hour, and 18 hours later, that feels unstable. It doesn't feel like a strategy. I hear you. You all think there's something there, but I think in short order, the American people are going to say, to just callously say, people are going to lose their jobs. I didn't ever hear that before November 5th. People are going to lose their jobs. Americans, are you okay with losing your jobs?
No.
Bill Clinton said it really loud in the early 90s when he said we're going to get rid of 13% of the workforce.
I was 8 years old, so I can't really say
that's a reality.
But I'm talking about now that I'm an adult.
Let me just play what Republicans in Congress are hearing from their districts and what they're saying about all of this.
Almost every industry executive has come to me and said it will hurt our industry and push up prices of homes, cars, and so I'm going to continue to argue against tariffs.
Should he back off of it if it starts to hurt constituents?
When we start losing, you back off. You know, there's such a thing as a strategic retreat. At the end of the day, I think we have more leverage than any other nation, but we got to be smart. We don't have all the leverage.
Max?
Maybe Tom, tell us.
Okay, maybe I'm shocked that Republicans are actually seeing that it is dangerous. It's a dangerous game that he wants to play right now. Like, and it could lead to. I'm going to tell you guys something, and you guys know this if you're well rehearsed on history. You know just as well as I do. The one thing that causes global wars, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Mao Zedong, people like Mao Zedong. No, Mao Zedong, that is his name. But Pol Pot, the people like that to come to power, economic down times. If these tariffs go the way most of these economists are saying and it wrecks the economy entirely, Trump has already proven that you can overstep boundaries when it comes to the government. And as long as you have a massive amount of supporters, you can get away with it. So far, what we're seeing so far, you know, so I don't think we want anybody worse to come to power, whether it's on the left or the right. It doesn't make a difference. You don't want anybody coming to power who is worse than what we got right now. So everybody in Congress better do something, better be doing something to stop it. It doesn't matter whether if you see the downfall coming in and this man can't let his ego go, everybody in Congress and on the judicial system, our government needs to show us they really support us right now. This is the time to do it.
This is right. This was a retreat. I mean, he backed off. He absolutely backed off.
There is no question that inside the Republican Party there is some resistance to this. I mean, that's just a fact. And there are issues particularly on trade issues where Trump is not an orthodox conservative. He didn't run on it. He has been very open about it. Some of the party supports him, some don't. In my home state of Kentucky, both Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul, not often aligned on issues, are both against it. You hear this from some corners of the party, but Donald Trump believes in this. And I suspect there is going to be some tariff strategy over the entire first term. And
But Scott, I hear what you're saying Trump believes in, but do you think it's a good idea?
Right, yeah, that's my question.
I trust the president to deal with Canada and Mexico.
Okay, but do you think it's a good idea to slap 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and then take them off and then put them back on and take them
And
off?
what happens in a year? What happens in a year? I'm curious from a...
Everybody yell at me, then I'll
I'm not yelling at you. Don't do that to me.
I like him.
Don't do it.
I like him. He's fun. He's fun. He is a fun guy.
Guys, don't do it.
And he's very
Don't do
intelligent.
it. As your colleague and friend that we have these debates because we actually care about this country, I am curious. Okay, if this is the strategy, but we've been saying it's only 40 days. Well, what happens when it's 40 months? Like, what happens when the strategy hasn't paid off? When is the intervention?
That's your prediction. Well, the interventions in American politics are elections. I mean, his whole economic strategy is not just tariffs. You've got the Congress working on the reconciliation package. You are going to try to see some cuts in federal spending, make permanent the tax cuts, changes in energy policy. In his mind, it all works together. And you know when you get a report card at the next election.
Can I ask you, really tomorrow could be a very big, maybe a very bad day economically. What are the markets expecting?
Downturn for sure. I mean, the jobs cuts, the sense that consumer spending is buttoning up, the sense that businesses, because of the uncertainty, are pulling back. You know, I agree with what's been said about fentanyl, but let's put things in perspective. 0.2% of fentanyl coming across Canada. Guess what does come across Canada? Lumber, energy. I spoke to a home builder that said, you know, we want to put a stop on building right now. We're going to pull back at a time when we have a housing shortage because we don't know what the lumber costs are going to be. Those are the kinds of things that business does not want to hear. And by the way, this is even if Kamala Harris were in office, this would be a very delicate moment economically. We are 6 years overdue for a recession if you discount the COVID blip, which I would because of the pandemic. This is not a time to be playing fast and loose.
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune.
Yeah, 6 years overdue a recession. We don't need a recession. However, though, I think what's going on, he's going to push us into it. Do you ever know? And like he's trying, you know what he's trying to do? Because he's tariffing lumber, he's tariffing aluminum, he's tariffing dairy. So he's trying to tariff all the things that we already get from there so that we can just make them here. I know that's what he's trying to do. The problem is it's cheaper to get them from there. So I don't even know if the tariff will stop businesses from buying from Canada relatively because they know that the lumber from Canada is better. I don't know. This is definitely a toss-up. We'll see what he's going to do. I'm excited. I'm excited on this. But, hey, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'm out. Peace.